Hey everybody, what's up? It's Dave, and I picked up my next little project here. This is another Honda Fourtrax 300 4x4. I rebuilt one of these things a couple of years ago. It was a 99 300. This is a year 2000 300 4x4. I picked it up as a project. It's in a little rough shape, but I'm gonna go through this thing front to back, and when I'm done it's gonna be a beast. Now this thing, it's not bad. Got what I thought was a good price. I picked it up for $1,000, and I'm just going to go through this thing and go through everything. The suspension, I mean, the engine seems to run beautifully. The engine is, it's almost like it's fuel injected. It's freezing cold out, and I'll just hit the starter button. Well, look at that. That thing starts amazing. It doesn't leak any fluids, which is good. I mean, it's rough. The plastics, gonna have to do some work. A couple of them are flopping around. The back lid, I don't know. I don't know what happened here. My guess would be that I've seen videos where people take a blowtorch to these plastics and kind of melt a sheen back to them. I don't know if somebody tried to do that there and just melted it. I mean, it doesn't work, but you'll see a video of someone with a map torch and just run it across the fenders and it turns like brand new. Wrong. This corner here, I'll have to do a little work there. The rack is loose. It has no brakes at all, so I know what's in there. Going to redo the back brake again. We'll investigate the rear I don't know, diff, you want to call it. We'll look into that, make sure that's all up to snuff. Again, no brakes at all, front or rear. I haven't even looked at it. I don't even know if there's wheel cylinders in there or not. To be honest with you, I take this thing out in the water and in the mud, and those brakes, they're supposed to be, kind of watertight, but if water does seep into them a little bit, it can't seep out. They're drum brakes, they're notorious for failing, unless you're just on a dry ranch somewhere where you're not in the water. So there's a disc brake kit I think I'm going to install on this thing so I can go through the water, and disc brakes are just, they're fine. It does have a winch, which is awesome. My other one didn't have a winch, so I might be a little more daring to go out into the cove mud. And if I get all four wheels spinning, at least I have a winch to try to get me out. The front suspension has some travel. I'll look into it. I might put shocks on. I'm certainly going to do upper and lower ball joints, wheel bearings, disc brakes. Check those axles, make sure they're in good shape. The rear suspension doesn't budge. It is just frozen solid, so thinking at the very least a rear shock. Check maybe the swing arm bearings. Make sure everything turns freely. But, it's a little rough. Needs a new seat. The handlebars are bent. Might need to get some new handlebars. It doesn't have the emergency brake lever here. This lever here it still functions, but it's not the best. May end up just getting a new master cylinder for the front brake as well. Again, the tires aren't too bad. May keep them. I may just put 4 brand new tires on it. And but I am going to wrap it again with maybe another different design. I did the mossy oak on the other quad, came out freaking awesome. Maybe I'll try some other, maybe a camo or something, see what they got. But I will wrap this ugly red after I repair it a little bit. This is just not in properly. Got to be tucked behind the tank. But this is it. So got a new little toy. We're going to clean up the wheels. A new toy, I'm going to go through it. I'm going to make some videos as I go along, but this thing should come out, you know, maybe a light bar on it perhaps. I could do some night riding in the woods, would be kind of fun. But because I only spent $1,000 on it, you know, the parts for this thing are super affordable. I may just go crazy and, you know, who knows, we'll see. But first things first, I got to take all the plastics off, and the racks have to come off to get the plastics off, and power wash the whole thing, and then we'll get a look at, you know, what we have to work with, or what I have to work with. But this was just kind of the first walk around. A little rough, but it fires right up. It doesn't leak any fluids, and I mean, these things are just bulletproof, so I'm sure this thing is going to come out amazing. So stay tuned. And the next time you see it, we'll have no plastics, and it will be power washed clean, and then we'll start doing some inspection. So stay tuned.